where I'm from, people don't go further than Liverpool. These are getting 20,000 views. I'm sat there thinking, I'm only 19,000 away. That was the first little bit of hunger, which was like, right, we're chasing these numbers now. I remember it said GRM Daily posted the video and the phone's just going. I swear on my life, I got a thermometer came up on my phone and it said phone is overheating, please turn off. I'm sat in my mate's house, I'm thinking, what is going on here? I'm flaming hot, I'm fresh in the game, everyone wants to meet me.
But you've also got into environments where I imagine you're being underestimated, you're the outsider. What was your mentality like to be able to overcome that and still go there and perform at your best?
Okay, so if I want to get super into it, yeah.
This episode is supported by Hewitt.
Thank you for being on it, Harrison.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited, you know.
It's a real privilege to have you here.
Thank you.
Part of that for me is a bit of a selfish thing that we grew up in the same part of Manchester, in Moston.
Exactly the same part, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved your speech that you gave in the BRIT Awards when you said that not many people from where I'm from, especially on my side of Manchester, get the opportunity to stand up here and receive such an amazing gift or reward, and that's the main reason I do it, to set examples, to make people know that it's possible, no matter where you're from, and not because 5 million other people have done it before you, that you can do it. So big up, everyone.
Yeah.
You're talking about the power of environment and setting an example, and I want to explore that, but I'm interested in what did Moston and North Manchester, in general, where you're from, what did it give you that have allowed you to achieve such success?
I don't know. I think in terms of music and when I first blew up and career-wise, it was good. A lot of people seeing not being from London as a bit of a disadvantage because it's not what people are used to, which was kind of true. But I always kind of seen it more as an advantage because it was like, because it weren't the same old, same old. As long as I knew I was making good music, I knew people would be saying, oh, have you seen that new Aitch guy from Manchester? There was always that little, I've always said there was always that little extension on my name just because I was from Manchester. If it was anyone else, it'd be like, oh, have you seen Chris? Yeah, sick. It's like, that Aitch guy from Manchester. What, Manchester? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I felt like it was a bit of an advantage. And then in terms of really close to home, like North Manchester, Moston, I don't know. It's some unexplainable thing that's in the tap water over there that no one else can get. It's the exclusive tap water over there. I really don't know. But in terms of me, I was just lucky enough to like find music as I started getting to that age. Do you get what I mean? As I was younger, it was just always, yeah, whatever, football, going on the park, whatever, all that same old stuff. And obviously all the crime was happening all around us. We were just there, we didn't know no different. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then yeah, one day I must have just started rapping, and that was me when everyone was kind of wanted to do certain other things. I was like, nah, I need to finish these lyrics. Not because I thought of anything to do with making a living off it, just because that's what I was enjoying doing. I was actually like, I'm not even joking, like, it started off just like everyone slagging each other off in a group chat, but rhyming. Like, I never actually rapped out loud at first.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was just messaging my mate, saying things that I shouldn't repeat right now. But, and then, I don't know, and it annoys me. I've got a bit of a bad memory, and it annoys me because I can never remember the day I actually put a beat on and started rapping to it. God knows when that day was, but it happened.
Where do you think it happened?
Must have been just in my room alone. Because I was rapping, I was not rapping, I was writing the lyrics to my friends, sending them, just dissing him. But I'm just reading it thinking, this is actually sick. And then he's replying to me going, you're actually doing something here. And then, yeah, I don't know. I really, honestly, I wish I knew.
How old were you?
Probably about 15, I reckon.
Right.
About 14, 15, I reckon. Yeah. But I never put no videos out or anything like that. I just used to do it in front of my friends. Like, yeah, just because. And then one day, the story is, I've told this story a few times, the story is that I told my mate to film me because I wanted to hear it back, because everyone's telling me I'm so sick, but I've never actually heard myself rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I told him to film me. Cool, I've done whatever I was doing, done my little freestyle, watched the video back. I was like, yeah, this is sick, send it to me, but don't send it to anyone else though. Like, don't put it anywhere, I don't want anyone to see this.
Why didn't you want anyone to see it?
Because it wasn't very like, I don't know, for some reason, where I was from at the time, there wasn't people rapping on every corner.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you get what I mean? There wasn't many people to kind of like look up to.
Why did that worry you?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It's always that fear of what people are going to say in it, I suppose, especially being in school.
Well, that was going to be my question, that you're describing something that you've recognised, this see the talent, that through exchanging WhatsApp messages with your mates.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that see the talent in a school environment? Because that's obviously something that's really creative, you're a bit of a performer. Did that show up in school?
I'll be real with you, in terms of GCSEs and passing exams and stuff, I literally passed English and performing arts and sport.
Yeah.
And now I'm here rapping and dancing about on stage, so it all made sense in the end, I suppose.
But that's something about that, like, that's where your talent lay. And I'm interested in what you've learned about young people sometimes being defined in ways where we define you by your weaknesses or what you can't do rather than your strengths. What have you learned about that?
Yeah, it's a funny one. People always tend to highlight the negative before they see the positive in things, don't they? It's hard. I feel like you've got to kind of like build up a mindset where like you really can't be too bothered what other people say or think, because it's always going to happen. I think I've just come to the conclusion that I'm never going to satisfy everyone, and that's fine. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's nothing bad about people not liking what you do or something like that. Everyone's different, everyone's got their own opinion, so that's cool. So I think like the quicker you learn to kind of like block all the negative out and appreciate the positive things that are coming your way, then it'll all be fine, because the negative things are always going to be there, and it's up to you to highlight them or push them away, I reckon.
How have you learned to do that though? Because this is interesting that you're sitting here now saying, look, I need to be me and not worry about negative opinions of me. Yet the same Harrison growing up didn't want anyone seeing that video of him because tall poppy syndrome, it sort of made you stand out from the crowd. So I'd love to explore a bit more about how you've got to this point.
Well, as I was saying before, so he's filmed this video, and I remember exactly what happened. As we was out doing whatever we was doing, my phone died, so I put my phone in my pocket, cool. We was out for a couple more hours, whatever, and I said, right, I'm going home now. Got on my pedal bike, rode home, phone's still dead, my phone's been dead for hours. Got home, put my phone on charge, cool. My phone came on, I'm getting a couple texts from people saying, yo, that's sick. And I'm thinking, what's everyone talking about? So I've come on YouTube, and there it is, there's my video right there, that's just been filmed. And I've just told my friend, don't put that anywhere, don't show that to anyone. So I'm fuming now. I'm like, I'm not having this. You've embarrassed me. Went to sleep, woke up the next day. Everyone's loving it. It's got about 1,000 views, which at the time, around there was, what, 1,000 views? Like, I'll go mad. I wanted to tip the house upside down in a good way. So yeah, so that was that. So then I've ended up kind of like changing from being angry at my friend to like, wow, thank you. You know what I mean? He was like, people need to hear it. You're too sick. You can't just be doing it to us. What's the point in that? And that was that. So to answer your question, I got thrown in the deep end and realised, oh, it's not, the water's not that bad actually.
And I think that brings us on to your sister Gracie.
I'll go make platinum records and perform in front of 80,000 people, but when I get home, I'm not the superstar, she is.
What are the biggest things that you've learned from her?
Wow.
So you want to try Huel, but you don't know where to start. Well, let's start with the fact that we all like different stuff. So Ben, behind the camera, he loves the ready-to-drinks, whereas I really enjoy the daily A to Z vitamins. Well, this is the Huel Taster Bundle, and you can try the lot with 8 ready-to-drinks, 6 A to Z daily vitamins, 8 complete nutrition bars, 2 hot savoury pots, and a free Huel t-shirt. All you have to do is click the link in the description to unlock your offer now at huel.com/high performance.
I just kept going from there. You know, and then I was coming through school. I was walking through the school corridor. Girls was coming up to me. They had their earphones in. It was like, look at this, give me the earphone. I put it in. It was my freestyle. I was going, yeah.
The same one on YouTube.
Yeah. At this point, there was only one thing on YouTube of me, and it was this video. I was like, okay, let's do it. Next time, wrote a new freestyle. Get the phone out. Let's go. Let's upload it, and it just went like that.
So tell us about the creative process then, because to me it sounds incredible that you're taking real life experiences and being able to put them through the filter of your mind to create something so brilliant at the end of it. Tell us how you go about doing that.
It changes all the time, I can't lie. Back then, it was just, let's just get a beat and say whatever. If you were to listen to that very first freestyle, I'm just saying a whole load of nothing, but it rhymed and it sounded good at the time. But now, I don't know. I've got to a certain point in my career. I've done a lot of things. I suppose I've achieved a lot of things. And I'm at that point where it's like, do you carry on doing what you're doing? And I suppose take the risk of people not getting bored, but maybe it's like, oh yeah, same old, same old. Or do you try and expand? Do you try and like, you know, go down a different road a little bit, not change the sound too much, but you know what I mean, try and create a bit of an elevated sound, and then run the risk of people going, that's not you. What? I don't like this new Aitch or whatever.
It sounds like you're saying other people, but it actually sounds like you're thinking this for yourself. Like you're wondering, am I ready for a new sound? And then the doubt is probably your own doubt.
Do you know what it is? I'll be totally honest. I have got certain types of music that I do love making personally. And when I'm listening to my unreleased songs, there is a certain type of song I would go to. But at the end of the day, I do have to realise that as much as I'm doing this for myself, I do have to realise that it's my job. I've got a fan base to cater to, and perception is a big thing on how people look at you. It's funny, I also like saying this, it's funny how I'm in an industry, or I've got a job where my career depends on everyone else's opinion, which is funny because I don't give a fuck about anyone's opinion. So I kind of have to get in that mode of catering for other people, if that makes sense. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Which
is a funny one because Harrison couldn't care less what anyone says about him.
What about Aitch?
Aitch is like, well, the bills have got to get paid, so let's take in what these people are saying. Do you get what I mean?
But tell us about how, if there's any young people listening to this, and a fair few old people as well, how do you get to a place where you don't care, where you are willing to just be authentically yourself without worrying about somebody laughing at you or making fun of you?
I think like age is one, like growing up. I think naturally just growing up. When I first came into the industry, into the game, I was 18. So whatever, yeah, exactly. I was 18. I'm 24 now. So I think just naturally growing up was a big thing, and just realising what I care about and what I don't care about. But I also think, I don't know, at the end of the day, you can't even make people be careless about what people say. People are different, people have different emotions. I'm not sitting here saying I'm Superman and nothing affects me and all that stuff. But like, well, obviously you find happiness in caring less about things that bring negative energy to you. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense. So I think my advice would just be like, you need to like focus on you and your achievements. And it's funny because now we're in a day and age where everyone who's doing so well and achieving so many things, it's all over Instagram and whatever. And, you know, these, I just want to swear so badly, really annoying people on Instagram, you know, trying to make people feel like if you haven't got a Lamborghini by the time you're 21, then you're failing in life. And it's just bullshit, innit, really, like.
What's that about?
Fuck knows. Sorry for my language again.
No, go for it.
But that's how it makes me. That's how it makes me feel. You know what I mean? I've fortunate enough to find something where I've ended up doing well for myself and all that. But I'm back to the Brits speech thing. I'm an anomaly. Do you know what I mean? Like people, it's not normal for people to make a certain amount of money at a certain age. But because everyone's on Instagram and social media, doing all this stuff.
So are you quite careful then about putting out the message, I've done it, you can do it, anyone can do this? Because it's not necessarily true.
Yeah, like, it is literally a case of, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? I was never like, I never grew up super motivated and stuff like this. All this stuff has kind of like turned me into that person. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as I got older, I'm talking from when I was like, let's go, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even 13, 14, maybe even 15. I wasn't like the most motivated person in the world. Like, yeah, like I'm doing this and I'm getting this done. I was more just like floating through life. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it reminds you, there's an old boxing coach called Customato. He was Mike Tyson's trainer. And he had this great line that he said, there's no stupid kids, there's just uninterested ones. Mm-hmm. And until you find what your interest is, that spark of fire
exactly.
can't come in. And
exactly.
so what I think I would like to explore, though, is this idea of, you don't have to follow the route that you have into music, but I think helping kids understand what their interest is, that it lights that fire, that means that they can change their life if 100%. They want to. That's what we want to explore, because I think your lesson, you are a pioneer and an anomaly, but I think you've got a lot to teach.
Yeah, I think 100%. I feel like there's always been that argument of like whether people think the school system is the right way to go about things, you know what I mean? It literally all depends. It's hard. Not a lot of people know what they actually want to do when they're that age. I think that's a bit of a sticky one as well. Like, I reckon there's more people that don't know what they're doing when they're 15, more so than there is, you know, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like there should be more opportunities for people to explore what they want to do. Do you get what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's trial and error. You've got to try certain things to know whether you like it or not. What the solution to that, I don't know. Like, I couldn't tell you what I think literally should be done, but I just think it's very like, I don't even want to say narrow-minded. I don't want to go on like the school system's the worst thing in the world, because if someone wants to go and be a scientist or whatever the weather, then you're going to need certain things. So it's a tough one, but I do think opportunities are needed, and people, like you said, people need to find their interest in things, and it's hard when it doesn't get put right in front of you. How is anyone going to know about these hundreds of millions of things that you can do if no one doesn't show you?
But that's why we have to create this mindset of exploration among young people, and I think you're the perfect person to explain how it actually feels right when you start to explore, because you said that I'm not here because I was motivated as a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old. You're here because you did something. Mm-hmm. And then you got this amazing reaction. You got people coming up to you, you know, letting you listen to their music, and you got that 1,000 views, and it made you feel good. It's known in psychology as the golden seed moment. Like, that was the moment a golden seed was planted, right, in your life, which is now taking you all the way through. So I'd love you to explain actually how it felt, but also how it informed your behaviour, because I think that we can't sit here and not have a conversation about the fact that you don't get to where you are without hard work. Mm-hmm. You don't get to where you are without studying other people. You don't get to where you are without a real love of the craft. And I wouldn't want this conversation to end with people going, well, he's a good rapper, he got lucky.
Right, yeah,
because it's not true.
Yeah.
So can we talk about this element that doesn't get talked about often enough?
Yeah, 100%. So, all right, cool, we'll go all the way back. So I've always loved rap music forever. My mum and dad was always at work a lot. So my older cousin used to babysit me, and she would just blast the house with rap music all day, every day. Cool. So that's where I found my love for it. Fine, sweet, whatever. Then years go by. I've always loved rap music in school. Cool, but never even thought to even try to rap. And then we fast forward a little bit more. The story I told you before about just sending the group chat messages, having a laugh, cool. And then I just had like and I was always that guy, I always had posters on my wall, different rappers.
Who did you have?
And all that. I had a big long poster like this, and it had near enough like everyone on it, you know what I mean? I had a couple 50 Cent ones, I had loads, I had a Snoop Dogg one. It was going off, right? But anyway, so yeah, that was cool. And then I've started doing what I'm doing. I've found the courage to show a couple of my mates. They was going, yo, it's sick. Yeah, I mean, that was that was the make or break part at first. If my mates start laughing when I do this, I am not.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I don't know, a little bit. Obviously, we used to be just chilling anyway, laughing around, rapping anyway, so I wasn't necessarily nervous in rapping in front of my friends. It was more like, is this actually good type nervous? Like, tell me the truth before anyone else hears it and I look stupid, basically. So that was that. And then from there, and from that video being released, which I didn't want to be released in the first place, I think it was all about kind of like checkpoints. So like I said, I got 1,000 views and I'm like, rah. I'm saying, I'm looking up to certain people from maybe like Birmingham or whatnot, or who I'm listening to on these channels. There was like a couple YouTube channels like JDZ Media, P110 Media, which was a platform for rappers to go on. And these lot are getting 20,000 views. I'm sat there thinking, I'm only 19,000 away. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, what the hell? Let's do a next one. Hopefully the next one gets 5,000, 10,000, whatever. So that was the first little bit of hunger, which was like, right, we're chasing these numbers now. And like, let's see what we can do. And then in terms of, like you said before, taking inspiration, yeah, it was just I was just always listening to, at the time, grime music, a lot of grime. If it wasn't grime music, it was a lot of American hip hop music, 50 Cent and whatnot. But in terms of what I was listening to get inspiration to rap, it was grime music.
What were you listening for?
Okay, so if I want to get super into it, yeah, at the time, grime was always about getting a reload. A reload is something where, so if he was all in the room now and the DJ was playing beats, there'd be one mic in there and we'd all share the mic. So you'd spit your bars, you'd rap your lyrics, I'd rap mine. But it's kind of like your job as an MC at the set to go so crazy on the mic that the DJ has to reload the beat. Like, you need to do it again, basically.
Right.
It's a feeling that can't be explained unless you've been in there. Like, honestly, there might not be a better feeling when you're in a grime set and everyone's rapping and everyone's kind of like trying to hold it down, like, yeah, it's cool. And then you get your turn and you say whatever you say and everyone's going, ah, and the DJ goes, woo. It makes that noise there where the decks rewinds, and it's like, whoosh. So what I was looking for was kind of like that. Like, what am I gonna write? What's gonna make people go, ah? You know how you've seen it before. You know how it gets when people get excited over lyrics or whatever, or over music. They're up. Oh no, he didn't say it. No way he said that. That's what I was looking for, basically.
There's a great phrase that I've read. I've read Jay-Z's story over the summer. And there's a great phrase he uses in it where he said, the public praise people for what they practice in private. So what he was saying was, I became successful because I spent every day of my summer holidays as a kid, sat in my room, just writing. But we praise him for that rewind set that you just said. It's that moment, so the crowd go mad, but it's what you've done in private.
What you've done beforehand, yeah.
So how did you go about writing and being able to create this sound that drives people mad?
I can't lie, it was kind of just, it was a little bit natural. I didn't really have many problems with it. Like I said as well beforehand, there wasn't as much substance to the lyrics and the music then as there is now. So I would tell a story, every now and again, but the story would be more, I don't know, we're at the party and this is what we're doing. It would never be like something where you need to lock in and take it in. But yeah, I was just chasing that, when you see that first reaction that you give people, you want to give it to everyone else. It's like an addiction, oh yeah, that was sick, people loved that. Other people need to see it. So that's what it was, and I kept going. Then, like I said, we got to the 10,000 views, that was like, oh my God. And then I was going to these sets, you know what I mean, everywhere. I was going to South Manchester. I was the only one from North Manchester in there. No one knew who I was. I was going in there, grabbing the mic, getting my reloads, leaving the building, walking home from Ardwick to Moston.
Fair way.
Yeah, fair way, yeah. That's what I was doing. I was just on the thing. And then, even still then, money didn't really pop into my head Like, I wasn't there thinking, let's get this money. I was more there just thinking, let's let people know how sick I am at this. That's when I started thinking, no, I'm actually a good rapper now. This isn't just, we're having a laugh here, like, people are loving it.
But you're also going into environments where I imagine you're being underestimated.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's research on this. Like, there's a famous study that's done at Princeton University where students were given a test, and before they answered the questions, half the group were told that the test was in a threat state of, do you deserve to be here? Right. And that's what we're going to study.
Right.
The other group were told, we just want to see how clever you are, that you're already here at uni. And what they found is that those that were put in the threat state answered 72% of the questions right. Those that were already made to feel that you deserve to be here, we're just testing you, they performed a lot better at 90%. So I'm interested in, there's lots of things that are putting you in that threat state. You're the outsider. What was your mentality like to be able to overcome that and still go there and perform at your best?
You know what? I never really felt like that. Do you get what I mean? Like, I was more so just like, at that point, remember, I'm young. Everyone who I'm around is saying I'm sick. I thought at the time, I'm like, I'm sick. No one's stopping me coming in this door now, doing what I'm doing and leaving. I never really like seen no threat kind of thing. There was nothing to lose, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose at all. I wasn't, yeah, I didn't have anything anyway. What's the worst that can happen in it? Like, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, and then it was only till things started picking up properly in terms of the realisation of, oh, right, I can make a living off this. That was when it was like, right, all right, cool. It was like I was sparring for a couple of years. And then when I realised it was that time, it was like, all right, I'm actually in the ring now, it's gold time.
But what did that do to your mindset? Because beforehand, you're playing to win because you've got nothing to lose. And now you've got a reputation. People know that who you are. Yeah, and now you're playing to lose.
Yeah,
so how did you differ with that?
It's funny because I remember having a certain, I suppose, a good little fan base in Manchester. And I remember I dropped a video called Straight Rhymes, which was like, that's the video where I blew up. That's where everyone outside of the north of England, I suppose, seeing what I was. And it was funny seeing, I realised how big the world was. Do you get what I mean? Because I'm looking on Instagram and the phone's just going, I swear on my life, I got a notification on my phone, like a thermometer came up on my phone and it said, phone is overheating, please turn off. I swear on my life, turned it off, put it down. I'm sat in my mate's house, I'm thinking, what is going on here? So that was a little bit of an anxiety thing.
Was it anxiety, not excitement?
Yeah, no, it was definitely excitement. But I just remember like, I swear, I'm not even joking, this is what I remember. I remember it said, GRM Daily posted the video on Instagram. And then I went on like the comments and then I remember just seeing, how do I explain it? Basically my comments beforehand, they was all when I'm looking at the names, they're all getting very familiar because it was all just very Manchester.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I felt like these was all my people. I'm seeing new names, new faces. Next minute, I keep scrolling, I can just see Stormzy saying, this is sick. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Boom, phone overheats, it's gone. Put the phone down, I'm like this with my hands in my head, going, what's going on? Is this happening right now? There's like 4 of us in the house, we're all running around the house, get the charger, get the charger. It's all just whatever. So yeah, so that's how it went down basically. And then from that day, that was like, okay, this is happening. Started getting phone calls off record labels and that, which is a whole nother story, which is actually a very, very, very funny story because one of my first record label meetings, I didn't have a clue what was going on. I'm just there, sat and listening to this guy talk to me. And he said, I'm gonna give you a piece of paper and a pen. I was with my manager at Aitch. He said, I'm gonna give you a piece of paper and a pen, both of you. He said, you write how much money you want me to give you. Yeah. Sorry, to give you some context, he said that because he's gone, so what do you want from the music game? I said, I'm not going to lie, brother, I'm skint, I need some money. Straight up, that's what I said to him. I didn't care about anything else at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it got to that point, because sorry to rewind it a little bit, because like I said before, at first I was chasing the let's get 10,000 views, let's get 20,000 views, let's do this. Remember, at the same time though, I'm getting older. This is now from 15 to 17, turning 18. It's getting real now. I've left school now. I'm not a little boy. I've got to get a job or go down a certain road that everyone else is going down.
Well, you were working on the sites, weren't you?
I did. I'd done that for a little bit, yeah. So this when it was getting real. So then when I'm getting pulled into these label meetings, I'm like, I need some money because I don't have a clue what I'm doing with my life right now. All I know is I want to do this and I want to make money from it.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the meeting.
Today's show is sponsored by Vanta, the all-in-one trust management program. Now, here at High Performance, we've tried really hard to create a safe, trusting environment for our guests. And that's why we've teamed up with Vanta, because whether you're just starting or maybe scaling your company's security program, actually having top-notch security practices and establishing trust is more important than ever. And Vanta automates compliance for ISO 27001, SOC 2, GDPR and more, saving you time and money while helping you build customer trust. As well as that, you can streamline security reviews by automating questionnaires and demonstrating your security posture with a customer-facing trust center, all of it powered by Vanta AI. Over 8,000 global companies like Flow Health and Cora, they use Vanta to manage risk and prove security in real time. Click the link below or scan the QR code on screen to get $1,000 off Vanta. That's $1,000 off Vanta by clicking the link below or scanning the QR code.
He gave us a piece of paper. I didn't have no clue about nothing. Whatever he said, how much money do you want? I've just put 10 grand like that, which, just to give everyone a peace of mind, I was getting millions of views right now. I should have said 110 grand, do you get what I mean? Like, but I didn't know nothing about the game or where money came from or anything. I'd just give me 10 grand, I'll be all right for now. So I've put it there, turned it down, left it on the side, my manager, put something else on the side.
Do you not see what he wrote at this stage?
Not at this point. He turned my managers over. My manager said like 50 grand. So I was like, right.
Don't turn my bit of paper over.
I was like, what?
Mr. Zero.
Yeah, I felt like just kicking my piece of paper off the table. So I was like, what? And then he turned mine over and he said 10 grand and he just started laughing at me. And I was like, what? He basically said, you don't have a clue what you've just done. You know what I mean? I'm like, what do you mean? He said, you are worth so much more than 10 grand right now. And I was just like, what? Like, it was also mind baffling. Like, even now when I look back, like, I couldn't really tell you my exact thought process. I'm 18 years old. It's my first time in London. It's just like, everything's just like, what is going on right now? I'm meeting these people. People are asking me questions. I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
They keep saying, what? Because I'm from over there. I've found a little bit more of a well-spoken voice now at this point.
Go on,
when I'm down there.
Go on, give us your well-spoken man.
No, this is it.
Oh, right.
This is it. This is what I'm saying. But before, it was all like this. So whatever. But yeah, sorry, go on.
So this is now...
I'm only laughing because Jake does an impression of me.
How's that?
Yeah.
That sound like Manchester?
It's not bad, that.
It's not good though, is it?
I've heard
Don't
worse.
encourage him. Don't encourage him.
I'll get some abuse for that.
Tell him it's shit. I tell him that.
I want to talk to you then about suddenly you've got to learn something new now.
Yes.
Because music was natural. Music was instinct. Music was passion. Music was love. Meetings with agents.
Yeah.
Record deals. Conversations about IP rights and sale. Like, suddenly there's this whole other world. And I guess you've got two choices. You either find the right people to help you. I'd love to know how you do that and how you choose the people around you. Or you need to educate yourself fast. But I'm pretty sure at this point there would have been some fear of the unknown.
So much fear of the unknown. But at the same time, kind of desperateness as well. Not desperateness literally, but in my head, desperateness. Like,
explain that.
In terms of, I don't care what happens right now. I need some money, otherwise I've got to get a job. At this point, I've already done I've done a couple months working on a building site with my granddad. But when I got this record label phone call, I took my hard hat off, put it down and ran to London. So I had to make some money right now, otherwise I've got to change some plans. So Yeah, it was scary though. But yeah, so to explain what happened in a nutshell, my manager, Adex, who basically, at the time when I was making a buzz around Manchester, he approached me and said, let me be your manager. At the time, I didn't know this, but looking back at it now, he didn't really actually know too much about the music game himself. He was just interested in it. And he kind of like came on the vibe of, I'll learn. You make the music, I'll learn how to be a
And was he honest with
good
you
manager.
about that?
Yeah, well, don't know.
Right.
Like, it wasn't a full conversation like that. I presumed he kind of knew what he was going on about anyway, because he was older than me and I was just naive.
Yeah.
But I did trust him though. Like, he was like, remember, like I said, where we're from and that, no one even like, I never even met a man so serious about something. Do you get what I mean? Like, it was just a good sight to see. He was like, yo, I'll be your manager. Let's do it. We'll do some good stuff, and I'm learning as I go along, kind of thing. He obviously knew bits and bobs. Otherwise, he wouldn't approach me that quick. But yeah, so it went from there. So yeah, sorry, and then we fast forward again. So in terms of making money now, I kind of just had my trust in Adex. Obviously, I got advised to get myself a lawyer and stuff, obviously, to take care of certain things, which was also a tough one because you start thinking, well, I'm about to get paid this much and my lawyer's about to charge me this much. And then, oh yeah, I forgot tax exists. And then my manager's going to want his percentage. I says, might as well not came here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that's when you start thinking, it's like, no, we're going to do this properly because this isn't the only paycheck I'm going to get. We're going. You know what I mean?
And was that your idea to say, like, we've got to do this properly now?
Well, kind of a mixture, really. My manager and my dad. Back to my point of, I'm very lucky that I had both my parents.
What did your mum and dad do, if you don't mind me asking?
My dad was a pipe fitter.
Right.
And my mum worked, I believe, for like some sort of insurance company. But when my sisters were born, one of my sisters got a disability.
Yeah.
So for like the past 14 years, my mum's been caring for my sister.
The reason I ask is like the world of lawyers and...
my dad didn't really. My dad's kind of, do you know what? I can't lie, my dad's a legend. My dad's been learning as we go along as well, and he's actually doing very well, you know what I mean? Yeah, big up dad. But yeah, it was, to be fair, I'm not even going to take all the credit for it. Most of that came from my dad in terms of, no, we're going to do this properly. Because he's basically, he's saying to me, I'm not having you look back in 3 years and go, what's happened to everything? Like, what, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so that's how it went down. We've done everything properly. And that's it. I signed a record deal. I signed a deal for like
not for 10 grand, I hope. Not
for 10 grand. Quite a lot more than 10 grand, actually. But I remember, just to give people a funny story, I was at my house one day and I literally had £0 in my bank account, like literally 0.0. It actually looked quite satisfying. And I woke up the next morning and I got £30,000 sent to my account. That was the first bit of money I ever had. And it said 30,000 on the dot. And I was running around the house, wow, going crazy. And I'm saying this story, I'm giving you advice not to do this. I reckon most of that money went on Hugo Boss, Armani tracksuits, and probably Italian restaurants.
Do you actually think though, like the lottery sometimes do this? I know a lad that used to hand out the cheques for the lottery, and one of the things he told me they would sometimes do is, say somebody won £1 million, take 50 grand out of it, go mad, and then when you've got it out of your system, come back and we can talk about the rest of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think that helped you?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what? I didn't feel like I was going mad because it was over a certain period of time. More so, looking back at it, it was like, oh yeah, that went quite quick. And that kind of taught me how to manage my money and taught me the value of money, really. Do you get what I mean? I thought that was it. I thought, I'm done for life. Let me kick my feet up. I've got 30 grand in my bank account. And that is definitely not the case. If that makes sense.
Let's talk then about this period where there's suddenly some expectation. As soon as someone puts 30 grand in your bank, right, they want something in return for that. So for the first time now, you actually have to deliver for someone else other than for Harrison. How was that pressure?
do you know what? It was good because it made me feel like I had a purpose. Now I feel like yeah, this is how it works. You give me this, I give you this, and we keep going. It felt good. It felt like I was moving, I was leveling up. You know what I mean? For all them years before, I was kind of like sat about doing nothing, wondering what to do. Found this talent, it started picking up, and now we're here. And now I felt like more like, even though I wasn't necessarily, I felt like an adult now. I felt like it was like, yeah, okay, I'm 18 now. I can drive, and I'm gonna try and make a living off this music I'm making. Cool. So it was good pressure, I can't lie. I think it actually brought the best out of me, I'm not gonna lie. It gave me a challenge. I do like a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. And so I was happy, so I was like, yeah, let's go again. I'm keep smashing these targets, and it all leads back to that original video, 1,000 views. Yeah, let's get 10,000 views, let's get this. And then next minute, I'm top 20 in the charts. Oh my days, it's going mad. Let's push it. Tell everyone to buy it on iTunes. I'm running around Manchester saying, yo, everyone buy my single. It's going crazy. Next week, it's number 5 in the charts. Oh my God, it's mad. It's just all happening. And as the days go on, there's more targets popping out in my face, and I'm going, yeah, I'll have that. And then I think don't quote me on this, you might have to Google this. I don't know if it ended up being number 2 or number 3. It definitely didn't go number 1 because I was super pissed off that it didn't go number 1.
Was that a target?
It was, yeah, but I wasn't disheartened by it. Right. My first big single. I'm happy it didn't go number 1 because I wouldn't have had nothing to work towards.
Because that was what I was going to ask you, like what happens when you get your target and you go, oh, right, I've done that now. There's always something else that's coming. Yeah,
you got to branch out as well. Do you know what I mean? You got to kind of... Because I've still never had a number 1. I've been on number 1 songs, and I've got number 1 plaques at my house, but never an Aitch release has been number 1.
Does that bother you?
Not at all, to be honest with you. It'd be nice, but I'm pretty happy with life right now, so it wouldn't really...
So how do you measure success?
How do I measure success? I think it depends. I think everyone's got different brackets of it. Really and truly, as long as I can go back to Manchester and my mum and my dad and my sisters and people who I love say to me, "Yo, I'll be really proud of you," then I'm not really bothered about anything else, I'll be honest with you. I am, obviously, I love everything that I do. But like I said before, I'm in an industry where it's all about everyone else's opinion. Half these people's opinion that say negative things, or positive, but mostly negative things, I will never, ever come across in my lifetime. Why would I let that affect me, really? As long as I can go home and the people I love tell me they love me, or one day, not to get deep about it, but when I'm in my grave one day and everyone stood around my grave, I hope everyone's crying their eyes out thinking, wow, we lost a good man that day. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's success, really, innit? Like, it don't really matter. Money's not really like, money is such a funny subject. Like, if we really got into the money subject now, I feel like we'd be here for 4 hours, but like, it's just
What's the headline on it from your perspective?
It's just like, yes, yeah, I suppose, yeah, you would say a successful person might be someone who has a lot of money in the bank, but like, I really don't know. Like, there's not many experiences I've had in life that was amazing, and it only happened because I had money. Do you get what I'm trying?
Yeah.
Did that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. You might go on holiday. Everything costs money.
Yeah.
The things that you can buy will never be as incredible as the things that you can achieve yourself.
100%. And like, I don't know, man. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to make money, and you know, I would advise. Well, not advise, but you know, I'm not mad at anyone who's got the mindset of I'm going to go out and make this money. That's fine, but like, don't let it overtake your mental state, if you know what I mean, or like don't let it get in the way of like relationships and that, you know, like they say you should never mix pleasure with business and all of that, which is like super, super true.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some amazing times in my life and some of the best times ever, and it didn't cost as much as buying a Ferrari on Berkeley Square. Do you
Have
know
you done
what I mean?
that?
I've not bought a Ferrari, no. I've not.
But what you're describing here, Harrison, reminds me of, there's some really interesting research on this, and I think you're almost validating it through your own experiences. That there's psychologist at Wharton University looks at what keeps people going, what keeps driving them, and she says there's almost like three mindsets you can have about what you do. You can view it as a job, so it's like I come in, I write, I go and perform. You can do it as a career where you go, and now I want to hit the numbers and I want to make a few quid doing it and do that. But then the third one is you can do it as a calling. You go, this is just what I'm meant to do, and I can make a difference to others.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us on to your sister Gracie, because you're unusual in the idea that you're a bloke that's giving back as well. You're not talking about surrounding yourself with the bling and the cars and all of that. You're also promoting food banks. You're a spokesperson for the Down syndrome charities and things like that. Would you talk to us a little bit about that side of you?
Yeah, of course. But first of all, I suppose, it's just like, it's always nice to just help and give back in it, no matter what it is. I know that, obviously, the Down Syndrome Association and stuff like that, that's obviously close to my heart because of Gracie. But, like, I would help anyone out in any way if I could, you know what I mean, every time. But, yeah, man, that's just, like, at the end of the day, simple as my mum and dad had these two beautiful twin girls, and one of them ended up with Down syndrome. I didn't even know what Down syndrome was.
And how old was you when they were born?
10,
right.
Maybe 11, 10, yeah. They're 10 years younger than me, yeah. So that was that. And then I just kind of like learned as I went along. I was like, I didn't really know what Down syndrome was. And it's funny because like, after I did find that out, I felt like every time I was out in public, I seen someone with Down syndrome, like, everyone started popping out from nowhere. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's about giving people with disabilities the same opportunity as everyone else, and people like trying to stop people from presuming that someone with a disability can't do something, or presuming that if they do something, they will do it poorly or whatever. Which really isn't the case. Like, I could bring my sister in here now. I could go out the room, sit her in here, and you'd probably have just as much of an interesting conversation with her as you would with me, or probably anyone you ever get on this, on here. And it's funny, and like, she remembers everything, you know. She'd sit here, she'd ask you what your mum and dad's called, where do you live, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Cheryl and Mike, and she'd come, I promise you, she could not see you for 2 years. She'd come back in here and she'd go, oh, how's Cheryl and Mike? And it's just like, wow, like, what? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I've learned from that, like, I was probably ignorant to people with disabilities and what challenges they have and what they can and can't do before I met Gracie. And it's just opened my eyes to like a whole nother...
You wrote a song called My G, right? And you said people laugh, but we're too strong for it to ever hurt. They might try and bring you down, but it will never work.
Yeah.
What are the biggest things that you've learned from her?
Wow. Just like this might sound stupid, how to breathe, how to like just realise everything's fine. Do you get what I mean? Like, this girl, I wish I could get into her head and just see what she's thinking about for the day, because it's so interesting. And she just like, I don't know, it's just a warm feeling. She makes everyone feel warm. She really is the star of the show. It's funny, like, I'll go make platinum records and perform in front of 80,000 people, but when I get home, I'm not the superstar. She is. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know. She literally is an inspiration. I'm not even sitting there like trying to get soppy or anything like that, but like on a genuine one, she's just like some inspiring little person who like...
She loved coming to watch you perform and stuff.
Yeah, she loves it. She thinks she's fit. Well, she thinks she's famous. She came on stage with me once when I performed the song, and then when sometimes when she's getting about in public, when she goes shopping with my mum, people will ask her for pictures. She'll be sat, I know that she wants to tell me something, because I'll come and she'll be sat there like that. Like trying to get my attention. Like I said, what have you been doing today? She'll be like, I'm just taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? Just flexing on everyone. So yeah, that's how I get my swag from her. I get my attitude from her.
She sounds great.
So what would you want? I mean, this is a big thing that so many people with disabilities tell us, that they often are not seen. So what would you want those of us that don't have disabled people that we're so close to like that, what would you want us to know that we should be recognising or doing differently?
That everyone actually has a personality. Everyone's born the way they're born. They think the way they think and all that. You can't help it. So like, who are you to like judge someone for the way they are? No one pick. You don't pick and choose your hair colour and the colour of your eyes and the way your body looks or anything like that. You get what you're given and you roll with it. You know what I mean? So like, it'd just be nice for people to just make people with disabilities feel a little bit more included. Do you get what I mean? And it doesn't always need to be like some separation thing like, oh yeah, say, I don't, daft example, but like, yeah, we'll do a sports day, but we've got a track for all the kids with disabilities and a track for everyone. Not like, fuck that, just put everyone on the track, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, everyone feel,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, equal, that's the point, basically.
Very nice. Well, you're lucky to have each other, you and Gracie.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to talk about some of the people that you've worked with. Stormzy and Ed Sheeran obviously stand out because they're so well known. I remember when we actually had a conversation with AJ Tracey on this podcast, he was so full of praise for you and
yeah, that's my guy.
And the work that you've done. I'd love to know what the secret is to working with others, and I guess what have you learned from the likes of AJ and Ed and Michael?
You know what? You just click with people. Like people say, you should surround yourself with like-minded people. You know, to start with, we're all in the same industry. We all love music, and I'd like to think we all make pretty good music. So that's a good start, anyway. But yeah, man. I suppose them three as individuals, Ed, I could sit there. I don't even need to talk to Ed. I could just sit there and listen to Ed, and I'll just take it all in and keep it all up there, you know what I mean? Ed's just like, he's just a legend. He don't even know how much of a legend he is, I don't think.
Tell us one thing that you've learned off him just by listening.
You know what I've learned from him? He's so, you know, you can't miss Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran's all over the place, innit? Like, people are chatting about Ed Sheeran left, right and centre. He doesn't even know what's going on. This man doesn't have a phone. He has an iPad and an email address. And if you want to get hold of Ed, you have a FaceTime the email address or you email him. He does not have a phone.
Why?
Because you don't want to be involved in all these. Obviously, I think recently he posted on Instagram, so I don't know. He might have changed the rotation, but yeah, and it kind of taught me like, you know, you don't have to personally be in everyone's face for people to talk about you or for people to listen to the music. Do make some good music, put it out in a good way. Sit back and take it all in. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's good for that. He's very, not separated, I can't think of what the word is.
Detached.
He's very detached. Yeah. He's very detached from it, but still very in the centre of it as well. Fun, yeah, it's funny. But yeah, he actually done something really nice when we shot not the My G video, we shot the Take Me Back to London video, and they had these really nice Louis Vuitton boots on, these black and orange boots. I've never seen them before. I was like, they're so sick, them boots. He was like, yeah, man, thanks, appreciate it. Anyway, a little bit after, he came and gave me his iPad and he said, just put your address on there. I'll send you some stuff. Like, he just played it cool. I was like, yeah, cool. And then a couple of days after, there was a brand new Louis Vuitton box at the door and it was them boots off Ed. So he's just a legend. I've still never wore him. They're up there in my house right now, just there.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just chilling. So he's a good guy. But yeah, AJ, he's probably like one of the people, he's probably one of the ones where I've connected the most with through the industry. We just had a big tune together. We've always stayed friends. We like going to the studio together. When I'm in London, he's kind of the person I call, if you know what I mean. So that was just so natural. We just get on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we make sick music together. So yeah, and he's actually been in the game for a long time. Like, I was watching AJ before I even thought about rapping.
Yep. So
I don't think he sees that side of me where I'm still like kind of like looking up. Yeah, I'm still a fan. Like, I'm like, I could do with some advice every now and again or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But like, so yeah, it's a funny one. But That's my guy. Who else did we say? Big
Stormzy.
Mike, yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
I was actually at Glastonbury the other weekend. Well, not the other weekend, a couple of months ago. Best weekend of my life. And Stormzy was there every day. It was just like Team Aitch and Team Stormzy. Link up every day at Glastonbury. It was a good time.
What have you learned from him?
Do you know what? I'll be totally honest with you. Every time I see Stormzy, it's probably for about 20 minutes. And we end up getting separated. I couldn't tell you what I learned from him in Glastonbury because I can't remember half of it.
Talk about United.
Say that again.
Talk about United when you were with him. He's a big red, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he is a big red, actually. Do you know what? We've never actually got into the United chat with Stormzy, but obviously that's my guy. We make sick music together. We still get along. I'm not saying it like we don't know each other, but...
And what about Coldplay? Is it like Chris?
Yeah. Uncle Chris, I call him.
Do you? Go on.
Yeah. No, he doesn't know that. I just say that. That was a funny story. One time I was at my mum's house, long story short, and I got a phone call, like a FaceTime, and it was an American number on the FaceTime, which was unusual. Usually if I haven't got the number saved, I won't answer it. But because it was American, I just thought, who could this even be? So I answered it, and it was Chris Martin. And I think I said something like, what the hell are you doing phoning me? Do you know what I mean? And he was like, yo, I love your music. I'm performing at the Etihad Stadium tonight, or tomorrow, whatever. Will you come and perform with me? So I was like, yeah, obviously. Like, what do you mean? And then I was like, well, what songs do you want me to perform? And he said, well, do you know what? I love your song, Bust Down. I'm jealous of that song. I wish I wrote that song. So let's perform Bust Down. And he said, I'll sing the chorus and you do the verses. And I was like, oh my days, what? So I was like, yeah, that's fine. What other song did I do? Done 2 songs. Really can't remember what other song. Oh, I done 1989, which is like a Stone Roses sample.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've gone to the Etihad Stadium, unfortunately. Got there, Coldplay was on. I've gone on stage, Chris Martin and the band, and I'm rapping my song and Chris Martin singing the hook, and I was just thinking, what even is my life at this point? Yeah, that was mad. But yeah, shout out to Chris. So every time like Coldplay's on the TV and that, I just get my little bragging rights. So I'm just like, yes, Uncle Chris. There's Uncle Chris.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look, we're almost at the end, but it's been such a great story, right? And so many highs, so many great moments, so much still to come, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What about the hidden cost of living your life?
Where do you want me to start now? So there's a lot of things that is a difficult one. Even in terms of the My G song. The My G song was my dad's idea. He told me that idea probably like 2019. The song wasn't even a thing until 2022. I was scared of putting that out because I didn't like the thought of what people might say.
About you or your sister?
About my sister.
Right.
I'm not bothered at what people say about me at this point.
Yeah.
But my sister, that's obviously another story. So I was scared of that. Don't even ask me why, because I don't know. That was just, don't like all that, whatever. Anyway, I've ended up getting over that. There's a lot of things, you know what I mean? I sometimes, it'd be nice to take the family out more. But, my family, my mum's not interested in going to the fanciest restaurant. And she just wants to...
Go to the Whitegate.
Go to the Whitegate, yeah, exactly. But it's just, certain things are a bit harder. You got a girlfriend or something, sometimes you're hiding your girlfriend and all that because... Also just, what's a hard thing is trying to protect other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is what I've signed up for. I can't moan about what anyone says for me, but some people haven't signed up for it. My mum's not signed up for it. I don't want people coming to my mum's door taking pictures of my mum, or I don't want people saying something. If I've got a girlfriend, I don't want people saying nasty things to my girlfriend that starts making her question herself. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's hard, and sometimes you feel a bit shit because you feel like you're roping people into things that they didn't really want to get into, but because you're in their life, they've got to put up with it. Yeah. That's a bit of a shit one. The couple thing, sometimes, and then, it's hard. It's hard because sometimes you feel like you have to sometimes hide certain emotions because, I don't know, I'm a rapper. You know what I mean? I'm a rapper, I'm this guy. I'm a rapper, I get all the girls, I've got the big car, I've got this, I've got this. Da, 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 da. Don't get me wrong, there's still the my G side of things, but in terms of, we're talking stereotypical right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Let's talk Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
What is this all about? This is exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I'm very excited. Yeah, we're doing it for the Down Syndrome Association, what I said before. We're climbing Kilimanjaro in January, end of January. It's like me, a couple of my friends, my dad, a couple of my dad's friends, a couple of us doing it. I think there's like 8, 9 of us doing it. And yeah, we're raising money for the DSA. It'll be a good challenge. I need to get these leg muscles working.
I was going to say, have you started training yet?
The tiniest bits, but I'm literally going home tomorrow, and on Monday, I believe, we're starting to do our practice walks. We're doing Snowdon, we're doing this one, that one, that one. Right. We're just picking it up. But yeah, it'll be good. We're raising some money. We're trying to raise 70 grand. That's the target. You can check on my Instagram for all the details. Go do what you're doing with all that. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's supposed to be an amazing thing to do. I like stuff like that. I like being outside. I like wildlife, all that. So it'll be enjoyable anyway. It's for a good cause, so it's a bonus. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it.
I reckon you'll come back inspired with some new music as well from that trip.
I 100% agree, I think. Yeah.
Right. Are you up for some quick fire questions?
Yeah, I'm excited for this part, I can't lie.
Good. What are the 3 non-negotiable behaviours that you think are really important to carry with you in life?
Respect. Honesty. And love, I'm going to say. That sounds very generic, but it's different when I say it. I'm not one of these generic people. So when I say something generic, just know it's fucking serious. No joking. Go on, that's on.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received and why?
Someone said to me once, sometimes you have to lower your lifestyle standards for a year or 2 to be able to live how you want to live for the rest of your life. That was pretty good. That changed me in certain ways, you know what I mean? I kind of stopped doing certain things for other people, you know, because I wanted to look cool or something like that, or I wanted to impress certain people, or, you know what I mean? Like all this, like the change in it really means nothing, really. Do you get what I mean? This was definitely, I definitely, like, probably had some sort of insecure moment that even striked the message in my brain to even want to buy this chain.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. See, I think it's interesting that you're a rapper, right, and you wear big jewellery. Because, you know, Pep Guardiola famously doesn't like signing footballers that have sleeve tattoos. And the question is why? Well, the answer is because they're just like every other footballer. They don't have their own mind. They don't have their own conviction. They just, every other footballer has a whole sleeve of tattoos. I'll do the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you go, this isn't even really me. But it's a reminder you have to play a game, don't you?
Yeah, you do have to play a game. I definitely don't regret it.
Yeah.
I don't regret anything, but like, I'm not really that guy to be like, I'm not really the flashiest guy all the time. People are actually going to laugh when I say that and say, yeah, you're lying, because I have done certain things in the past where I felt like I've had to get this, say certain things in songs. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever, it is part and parcel of the game as well, but yeah, essentially, like, yeah, you don't have to, if you want to live the life that you want to live, slow it down for a couple of years and go again.
What's your biggest strength? What's your greatest weakness?
My biggest strength is being myself. No one can tell me that I acted differently in a room with this man than I did in a room with this man or woman. And I'm pretty proud of that, I'm not going to lie to you, because like not everyone can say that. And I've been in a room with Ashanti's dancers, and I've been in a room with the most gangster rappers in England, and I'm the same guy. And people aren't like that. I literally sit here and watch people change as they walk through different rooms. Because I'm so genuine, people probably let the guard down with me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm meeting all these people and they're 100% themselves. And then, even if it's a rapper, this rapper will be so genuine and stuff like that. And then we'll go into a room full of other rappers, and he ain't the same person that was just in that room with me. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but each to their own.
Greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness is being restless and being a bit like, anxious, not anxious. Yeah, anxious, I suppose. Yeah, being restless and being a bit like, can't sit still. You know what I mean? Because it is annoying. It is a bit of a weakness, but a lot would be different if I wasn't like this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is part of my motivation. We're probably going to watch this back. I've probably sat in 15 different positions all the way through this. But like, I was saying this a couple of days ago. I was just chilling. I was having a day off, funnily enough, and it got to about 9 o'clock at night, and everyone's like settling down, putting the TV on and that, and I was just ready to go. I just wanted to go to work. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've just done this for so long now. It's just, I said to you before, I don't even know if the camera was on before, but I said, if I've got a couple of days off, by the second day I can't. And I'm phoning my manager and I'm saying, book me a studio session now, or I'll do something, give me something to do, because I can't just sit and do nothing.
It's a superpower, mate. It's
a superpower, and that's why I've tried to do a couple of different things. I'm not going to start waffling about everything, but that's why it's not just a music thing, it's a sips thing. I've got a show for company. I've been working on my clothing company, just loads of different things, because I can't sit still, basically.
Good lad. If you could go back to one moment of your life, what would it be and why?
I don't know. I wouldn't change anything, that's the thing. I wouldn't do anything differently. So if I was to go back to anything, it would just be to just live that moment again and reminisce. So maybe like headlining Park Life or something, which weren't even that long ago. Or something like just a random day in high school. Do you know what I mean? Just
when life was a bit simpler.
Life was a bit simpler. As long as I've got 50p in my pocket, I'm laughing. So yeah, either Park Life headline or 50p in the pocket out of the shop. Yeah.
And finally, what you'd like to leave people thinking about, really, your one golden rule for a high performance life?
Only you are to blame in most respects. You can sit there all day, every day, and moan about certain things that's happening in the world and with your life and how you should be this person, or if you kind of envy this person a little bit because he or she's got this and you've not. Only you can make that happen. Yeah, because you can sit about and wait for someone to come and help you, and they might do if you're lucky, but if they do, they're going to expect something back. You know what I mean? This is how the game works, especially when we're talking getting into something, a certain industry or something. There's not one man I've ever met walking down Kensington High Street who've offered me help and not expected nothing back. So don't think that everyone's your best mate. No one's your best mate. You are the one. You can take yourself to where you want to go. If people want to help on the way, they can do, but don't let someone take control of where your car's going. You've got to take the wheel and go. In a nutshell, forget about everyone, you know what I mean? Worry about the people you love and the people that love you, and everyone else is a bonus, you know what I mean? You meet good people along the way, that's a bonus. You're probably going to meet more bad people than good people. Keep it stepping, keep working hard, and you'll get to where you want to be, you know what I mean? If you take control of your life, don't let no one else get in the way of that. That's what I'd say.
Harrison, thank you so much for your time. What a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Struggling to find the motivation? Try this instead.
Take it professionally, not personally.
Why are we postponing love and community and friendship?
I'm not worried if anyone fails, as long as we are changing things for the good.
To have those kinds of friendships, I think, are absolutely essential to being what we would call a high-performance human being.
Take back control over your happiness. Give the High Performance app a try, then see how you feel.